Okay, so about your Don't Follow Me music video, you said everybody is lost, even when they make it look like they're not. Can you share a moment when you felt that tension between appearance and reality?
Good question, girl. Oh, I've touched on this a little bit in my social media, but I think a very poignant and hilarious. I really think God has a sense of humor sometimes. A hilarious moment of this was actually when my song Don't Follow Me came out. Um, when the song dropped, I was in the middle of downtown LA, like in my car from high school, with everybody from the music video shoot, getting ready to shoot the first scene of the music video. I was high off all the support and energy that has been a dream of mine for so long. I'm filming my dream music video, I'm caffeinated. And the next day, I get my heart broken.
Hmm.
Like, how crazy. I thought that was hilarious. And like, obviously, I was super upset about it, but I was like, this is just my life, man. Like, I'm on Instagram, there's accolades happening. We're filming a music video. I gotta show up for the people that showed up for me. I'm spreading gratitude on Instagram and I'm sobbing and trying not to smoke a cigarette, you know? Like, and like I'm literally like baking like for my makeup, like putting on powder with my bronzer while I'm crying and have to be on set in 30 minutes. I was like, this is pop star school, girl. And I honestly think that this has been a big theme in my life is that this is just shows my songs are potent and music has a very strong pull. My songs directly manifest into my life when I'm releasing them. I'm like, girl, no, please don't do this to me today. But it's honestly gorgeous and like just a beautiful mess of life. And honestly, was like probably something I really needed to happen. And the timing just was the timing that it was. But I think that was like a very poignant, crazy, like crossroads where I felt like everybody was seeing all this beautiful stuff in front of me and I was like crashing out. You know what I mean?
It sounds like you moved into a higher timeline and it was not
Mm.
aligned anymore.
Girl, tell me again. No, literally, thank you for saying that. It's so true. I mean, you know this, like even if you have like the awareness to say this, everything painful that happens is not to hurt you, actually. It's to help you break through to the next level and help you have this freedom and integrity that helps you connect with others. And I do really believe that that is a written thing in the universe and plan God's plan, whatever. And so when you look at it like that, you start to love the tears and you start to love the surrender because it's almost a beautiful process how our bodies and brains and souls process through agony and like growth, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
It's wild. It's actually a trip.
So you said you pulled off this music video with no label, no budget, no boyfriend. Just how did it feel to take it all on yourself?
I love that. That's so funny. Well, now you know where that came from
I
because you
know.
know the background story. Luckily, as much as I say this online, and it is true because I think like a big thing that I try to advocate for is for independent artists and for believing in yourself and really taking it upon yourself to achieve your dreams and to chase those. Part of that, I never am actually really doing it alone. Even though I don't have a label and I don't have a budget. Um, the director Maxim Vernick was a key component to this whole entire creative process, and I wouldn't have done it if he didn't believe in the song as much as he did. And this is as much as this is my video, this is his video. Like I almost wish he was here right now. He had a very strong vision for this video and wanted to do it, no matter if we had a budget or not. He just felt so creatively inspired by it. So that inspired me. And he came up with the visual concepts and the transitions and pushed me a lot as a creative. So I felt like we were doing this together. And also we had Riles Martinez and HS Inkland who were also on set with us and they were very helpful in the process. I think if Max, yeah, obviously I couldn't have done this without Max. And also, I think just big shout out to my parents, real quick. Like I know that not everybody is blessed to have parents that are still here or blessed to have a healthy relationship with their parents, but thankfully I do, and they're very helpful and emotionally supporting me. And so I think like just having my family close has been really helpful as I like forge this path. And I think something that my parents have always encouraged in me is to go with my bent and is to go with what I believe in my dreams. So there's never a question on like if I should do it or not because they always like believed in me. So I have their voices in my head, like not telling me not to, but telling me like that I should expect this and like let's do this.
Yeah.
Um, so I would say for anyone to make this not as like gloating, because I don't want it to sound like that. Like for anyone who's listening to this and like feels like you're picking up a huge boulder and pushing it up a hill, like yeah, that's kind of what it feels like. But something I've learned in my recovery program that has been applied to my life is one day at a time. And you can break that down into 1 hour at a time, 1 minute at a time, one step at a time. So instead of thinking about the boulder itself, thinking about, okay, I want to do this giant creative pursuit. What's step one? What can I do today? What's the next step? Next step, instead of thinking of it 100 steps ahead, because that will overwhelm you and actually probably freeze you from even doing it?
Yeah, totally.
Mm.
Okay, you filmed in one of the sketchiest parts of downtown LA from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Did anything wild happen during the shoot?
Oh my gosh, girl. You know what? It was so frustrating. There's this one, it was so hard. And Max warned me about this, and I just like, we'll be fine. The first part of the music video, you see me like running down this tunnel, and it's like the graffiti tunnel, and it switches to me like on the wall. You don't want to know how long that took us. And when I say sketchy in that way, it was like cars are speeding, racing down. Like they want to show off. They see people on the side. They're like, "What?" Like they want to make the biggest noise and blow out your eardrums as much as they can. It's like crazy. I was getting frustrated because I was like, this is so like, but you know what? Max told me, he was like, girl, this is what we do. And like with no budget, like we're using public spaces. So you kind of have to just like roll with the punches in that way. So I would say like risking like our actual lives, like running in the middle of the street and like having crazy cars come by. Nothing really, we were very blessed in that way. Like nothing like super scary bad happened. It was just like really long, daunting hours and like lots of loud cars. And we were blessed to have a team that was kind of on the lookout for everybody's safety, my safety. Um, and yeah, I think that was like the most crazy. Honestly, it wasn't anything like so intense. I think the most intense thing was just the hours that we were working and like how long it took for us to get these specific shots. Because as you see, like it almost looks like the video is one shot through the whole thing. So Max was editing on set as we're like going through to make sure we got each shot. So that was like definitely like boot camp. I think doing a split on the top of my car too was like pretty, that was like kind of crazy and like wasn't planned.
The teleportating chase through downtown really captures the song's chaos. How did you and the director Maxime translate that inner conflict into visuals?
Good question. I think you can kind of tell through the video, there's like this, we don't actually show as much of the aspect of the agony that maybe this song could insinuate. And that's actually kind of on purpose and on accident, if that makes any sense. Like this is what I am like when I'm at my peak performatism. This like I can handle it all. I almost have this like smirky kind of like that's like I do my own stunts kind of thing. And like it ends up getting me hurt as you see in the end. But honestly, with the hitting with the car, all these very big, violent, scary kind of things. And like when at the end where it does seem like kind of almost triggering, like where I'm like coming off the building and then I end up picking up the camera, spoiler alert for everyone. All of these were representations of very dangerous physical situations that I got myself in that were representing this mental mindset of ego and putting myself self-sabotage. That's what we were trying to almost invoke with all of these things. And that's why it's like I hit myself with the car. That's why it's like I pick up the camera at the end. I'm like, haha, you thought I was gone. And it's actually just a version of myself that I'm kind of leaving behind. And all of these are kind of self-inflicted. So we thought of a lot of like dangerous things that we could have thrown in there in the video, but we didn't because they weren't self-inflicted. Like we wanted these things to be things that I could only do to myself. We didn't want me to get in like a bar fight or any other people to be involved, because the whole representation of this story is this mindset and this fight between my shadow self and almost not even my shadow self and my higher self, because my higher self's not going to fight with the shadow. Like it's my shadow self fighting myself. You know what I mean? And so I think that, and then also with the teleportation, that was all Max. And a big inspiration for this video was, and you could probably guess this once I tell you this, you'll be like, oh, I totally see where they got this from. The Von Dutch Charlie XCX music video was a huge inspiration for us. The run and gun type of movement and the kind of brash energy that she brings to the table was something that was very inspiring to us. So that is kind of how we wanted to visually represent this crazy kind of intense fight with my ego, basically, you know?
You've said the song is about ego death. What pushed you into that experience?
Great question. I think as we all kind of realize, it's like in retrospect, like when I'm writing the song and when I even was writing this album and all the songs for the album, I wasn't like, this album's about ego death. Like I'm not like in the middle of writing a song about ego death. I'm writing about why do I feel like everyone's betraying me? And like, why do I feel like I'm like not reaching my potential? And like, why am I mad at the world? And why do I feel like I'm absolutely upset and lost and all these things? And then as I'm processing through that verse and I get to the pre where I'm like, shit, well, I guess the only way to like actually get through this is to like cry it out and like drown in my tears tonight. And like, when you get to the place where you don't know where you're going, but you don't care, like you're free. And I start to almost process through this feeling of being lost as you go through the song. You can see this progression through the song. And me saying that it's about ego death and all of those things is in retrospect after I'm looking at this whole project, because you can hear, because healing isn't like this upward trajectory, right? Like if I'm bringing you through the song, Don't Follow Me, we start with this agony and this feeling of being undercut. We kind of go through this like, damn, like, I guess I'm just got to be sad about this and get through it. I start to realize I'm lost, like leave, like don't follow me. And I'm almost like, I kind of want you to though. So like, can you come? But like, don't please. And then it's like almost this liberating feeling once we hit the big part of the chorus after it's not filtered and feels like it's underwater. We get to the second verse and we kind of go back down because it's like, well, wait, like everybody says they mean well, like about me, but I think everybody has bad intentions. And like everybody tastes I'm going places and like, then they want to be a part of this. Then they want to buy into me, but then they fall in love with me and then they think I'm too much and they leave. And it's like me dealing with my abandonment issues. And I'm like, well, screw you, bro. Then I'll be alone. And I kind of see how I like go through that process. And I'm like, well, fine. Like you use me up and you eat me up. Like I'm the best thing. And then you get a sugar rush and you're like, this bitch is too much. And then it's like literally going through almost like mania in a way. It's like, well, you can't do this. Then I can't do this. It's like, you're fighting with yourself almost. And then like, I start to get into this mode of acceptance, whether it's performative or fake or whatever, that's what it feels like. And it's like, well, guess what's that wrong with being alone? You know? And then like, you can also tell the switch, because in the beginning I say, I got to find a way to tell myself I love her again. And then the second pre I say, I think I found a way to tell myself I love her again. And it reemphasizes, hey, the only way that you can love yourself again is like, get through this, like, and let yourself feel the emotions of this, you know? So this whole entire like wave of up and down and process, I'm so proud of it because it wasn't calculated and it wasn't like I tried. It just was like me processing through this feeling. And then I look back on it now and I'm like, damn, I think I was going through an ego death there. And then like the most beautiful part of the spiritual process is this energy of surrender. And I think that was very much what this song represented for me. And it might not represent that for somebody else, but I feel like for me, that's what it ended up, if I could wrap it in a bow, you know?
Dangerous. Is it a warning not to mess with this new version of you?
Ooh, dangerous. The reason why I called this project dangerous is actually more of a personal reflection. Because for me, when I go into the rabbit hole, which I allude to in the title track of this project called Dangerous, the rabbit hole for me is the spiral. It's the ego spiral. And every song is almost a reflection of the ego spiral and how that manifests in my personal life, whether that's being completely lost or whether that's being cold to the people that I love or being obsessed with the delusion, whether it's being resentful at people who aren't even in my life anymore and carrying that with me. That rabbit hole is hurtful because I'm living in a place of hate, resentment, which causes anxiety and pain to myself. It's very actually similar, honestly, to the concept of my last EP, Second Arrow. It's just more tangible in terms of the lyric and the storyline. And so basically what I'm saying in Dangerous, it could be a warning, but it's not a warning about specifically me. It's a warning about everyone in terms of like, hey guys, like if we live in our egos and play fire with fire and try to play power dynamics, it's really dangerous because it's hurtful to people and this is what we build, you know? And there's also this gorgeous element of shine to every song and the project, and it's hot and it's fun and like it's pop. And that's kind of what I mean by dichotomy, because like some of the most painful things that I've been through were so gorgeous to me because I wanted them to work, you know? So I would say that's kind of why we called the project Dangerous. And keep in mind too, like as I continue to evolve through this project, like what does dangerous really mean and what actually is dangerous? Because aren't we kind of supposed to step over the line a few times to learn who we are? Is it that serious or is it that serious? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's me. That's up to the listener, you know?